Coming up tomorrow, March 25th at 2 p.m. at the Rady JCC, the Music N Mavens Concert and Lecture Series present Circle Games and Summer Lawns, a Joni Mitchell anthology. This special performance features Winnipeg's own award-winning duo, singer Erin Propp and guitarist Larry Roy. Renowned for their seamless blend of beauty, expression, precision, and supreme musicianship. Propp's rich, expressive vocals and Roy's masterful guitar work go together like peanut butter and jelly.
Whoa.
Effortless, classic, and utterly satisfying. Tomorrow, they bring their magic to the Rady Centre with a stunning selection of songs by Canadian folk icon Joni Mitchell. It's the perfect way to spend a spring afternoon in Winnipeg. And joining me here in the Classic 107 studio, I am joined by guitarist Larry Roy and singer Erin Propp. Hello to you both. It's so great to have
Chris.
you here.
Hi, Chris. Thanks for having us.
So, Erin, I got to ask, first of all, I was reading, you have an album coming out. Can you talk about it? What is the album and what's it called and when is it going to come out?
Okay. Yeah, I'm hoping fall of this year would be nice. I think the working title is The Longing Years. And I'm taking a step out and playing piano on almost all of it. So that was a stretch goal for me for the last few years. I didn't know that it would lead to that, but it's been really fun to do.
Mm-hmm. And Larry, you've got a new album out too, right?
I don't have a new album out. I've started a project which will culminate in a release of some sort. I am looking at doing a trio record with 3 different drummers in all likelihood. I did the first step 1 in Los Angeles in February with the drummer Peter Erskine, who I have recorded with in the past. And then I plan to get to Toronto to do a little bit of some more material with a drummer there, Larnell Lewis, and then finish the third step in Winnipeg with another drummer, friend of mine, Fabio Ragnelli.
Oh, fantastic. So I did an interview with Carla Burbrayer, the producer for Music N Mavens, earlier in the year. We were talking about this season, and she was talking about the fact that, Erin, she heard you do a Joni Mitchell song, and based on that, she approached you about the idea of doing an entire show of Joni Mitchell songs. Apparently, you said absolutely. Why were you so enthusiastic about the project?
Well, first of all, Carla had heard Larry and myself. It was probably doing Coyote, because that's been a kind of a staple of our set for the last few years. And when Carla asked about it, of course, I was thrilled for us to do that together for her, because we're both huge fans of her songwriting, of her artistry. Her band is always killer, all of her records. Then it's like finding the best author, and they happen to have multiple series of many, many books, so you can stay in that author's work for a long time. And she's like that. She has such a deep library, a vast library. And so there's just so much beauty to mine in her collection.
Mm-hmm. And aside from the music, she was a poet. I mean, you could just listen to a Joni Mitchell tune just for the words alone. I mean, music aside.
Yeah.
When singing Joni Mitchell, do you try to replicate what she originally did, or do you put your own spin on it when it comes to the text?
Well, I was just thinking about this today. I try to replicate as much as I can what she did, but even today I was rehearsing some of her stuff, and I thought this is at least a 2-week job for me to try to cop every one of her lines the way that she does it, because it's so intuitive to her, but not necessarily to anybody else. And there's so much text, and everything is different. Every line has a different almost meter to it, not a meter technically, but a cadence, a different cadence to it. So that's as a singer, that's a great technical job to have, to try to copy her rhythmic choices and her phrasing, because of all the singers I've tried to copy, she is the ultimate in phrasing. So it's just this masterclass over and over again of trying to learn what she does. On Tuesday, you will hear me put a very quote unquote Erin's spin on things, but only because I couldn't memorize everything that she does. Yeah.
And she was just a master.
Yeah.
And Larry, for you as a guitarist,
When you say spin, like, do you mean like a propeller?
Hilarious, yes. Like a propeller.
Okay.
and Larry, for you as a guitarist, what do you enjoy about playing her songs? Is it the unusual tunings that she used? And are you you're going to be changing some of the harmonies for yourself in any of the tunes, or maybe changing voicings?
Well, I mean, just to continue to chat about Joni, her rhythmic palette is that of the best jazz musicians of the last 50, 60 years, which is part of why they were drawn to her music, and they all, many of the great musicians, from Charlie Mingus to Herbie Hancock to Jaco Pastorius, Pat Metheny, they all had their chances, their opportunities to perform with her, record with her, and so that's why it's such a challenge, is that it's so varied and it's so expressive rhythmically. It's emotionally expressive, but and it is certainly a rhythmic study to work on that. In terms of the guitars and the harmonies that she uses, that's a fun challenge for me. Though I probably will have seven or eight guitars on stage, because she uses many different tunings, and I would surmise that she would try different tunings and come up with a bass tuning that, with open strings, already sounds rich and diverse and unusual and so on. And then so what if you're gonna mimic that, she would do that. She would write a song and play it, learn it, play it for years and years. Great. For us, we're doing a concert next week with 7 guitars, and I have to learn different fingerings for every different tuning, because none are the same. And I mean, none of the fingerings work from one guitar to the next. So I mean, it's big fun though. It's big fun. I've been a fan of hers forever. We're doing a bunch of music from different albums. We're doing a couple of songs that, as I consider a personal favorite to me, from Erin, that we're doing a couple of songs from Court and Spark and Shadows and Light, and so it's quite a treat to hear Erin sing on this stuff.
Yeah. Can you talk about some of the tunes that you're going to be singing? Like, judging by the name of the show, I imagine Circle Game and Hissing of Summer Lawns is going to be on the program.
Actually, we're not doing Hissing of Summer Lawns, but I liked the alliteration of circle and summer, so I put that in the title. Sorry, everybody, we're not doing that song. We are doing Circle Game. Oh man, there's many favorites. I am actually sitting down at the piano for 2 of them, so I will be playing Down to You and River with Larry. So I'm excited about playing those ones, but I really, I don't know, what is my favorite? I love the songs from her album Hajira, so like Hajira and Coyote and Amelia. Those are big favorites of mine.
Fantastic. Often when people think of Joni Mitchell, they think of her being part of this whole folk movement. And we've been talking about it through the interview. She was very much influenced by jazz. I would imagine there's going to be these jazz elements in the performance on tomorrow, right?
Sure. I mean, we'll take some liberties if you like, but when you say jazz elements, what that means to me is just the richness of the harmony and the freedom of the rhythm. Yeah. And that's what jazz represents to me. In any case, is a richness, a rich palette of harmony and rhythm.
Yeah. I'm going to ask a question of both of you. What are you both looking forward to performing tomorrow? Larry, I'll start with you.
I'm looking forward pretty much to all of it, in the sense that we rehearsed a few days ago, and we were able to meld some of these guitar sounds with Erin's voice, and that was wonderful. And then Erin sat at the piano, and we did those tunes together, and that was a treat as well. So are there any that I don't look forward to? Not really.
Mm-hmm. It's going to be a great show. And Erin, how about you?
Learning all these songs like we've done Joni songs before, but it'll be like one in a set or maybe two.
Yeah.
But doing all of these back to back for the last few weeks, I've really enjoyed seeing some of her themes return lyrically. And one of them that like seems to go on for a day is called "Comin' from the Cold." I heard her sing it live last fall in LA, and her phrasing of it was just so beautiful. And the way that Larry plays, he allows for space for anything to happen.
Right.
It makes such a comfortable space for any vocalist or soloist to sit on top of. So for a song like that, Coming from the Cold, where the text just goes on and on and on and rambles, there's a chance for anything to happen between us. So probably a tune like that, and she has a few of those that are pretty rambly, where there's just Larry creates the sound and the world for us to live in, and and it's a place where anything can happen. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
I mean, singing and performing her music, it must be just like being in a candy store all the time, right?
Yeah, it's a happy place. Yeah.
Yes, and I'll second that. Performing with Erin is a candy store basically, and we did a thing with the WSO 8-9 years ago, and we did some of our music, I think, and this gentleman came up to me at the end of the performance and he said, "Hi, I can't remember his name. I'm so and so. I own the rights to the Joni Mitchell musical," and he said, "The two of you and Erin's voice, that's the best thing I've ever heard for that show," he said. And we've tried to, there's a chance that we would maybe rebuild that show with that person at some point, but it was just interesting for him to come up to us and say, you know, you guys, your voice is well suited to doing something like that.
Mm-hmm. For our Classic 107 listeners, I've heard Erin Propp Larry Roy on a couple of occasions, and it seems like a no-brainer. It's gonna be fantastic. Larry and Erin, this has been so great to have you here. I hope the show tomorrow is sold out. I'd be surprised if it wasn't. The two of you performing the music of Joni Mitchell, it all seems like just a no-brainer. Thanks for taking the time to stop by and talk to me today. And I understand you're going to play us out with a tune. What are we going to hear?
You're going to hear Hijira.
Perfect. I'll let you take it away.
Thanks, Chris.
Traveling in some vehicle, I'm sitting in some cafe, a defector from the petty wars that shell shock love away. There's comfort in melancholy when there's no need to explain. It's just as natural as the weather in this moody sky today. In our possessive coupling, so much could not be expressed. So now I am returning to myself. These things that you and I suppressed, I see myself in everyone, right at this moment of the world. As snow gathers like bolts of lace, waltzing on a bridal girl. You know it never has been easy, whether you do or do not resign, whether you travel the breadth of extremities or stick to some straighter line.
sitting on a rock. They're either gonna thaw out or freeze. Listen, strains of Michael Brecker coming through the snow and the pinewood trees. I'm porous with travel fever, but I'm so glad to be on my own. Still somehow the slightest touch of a stranger can set up a trembling in my bones. I know no one's gonna show me everything. We all come and go unknown. Each of us so deep and superficial, between the forceps and the stone. Well, I looked at the granite markers, those tributes to finality, to eternity. And then I looked at myself here, chicken scratching for my immortality. In the church they light the candles, and the wax rolls down like tears. There is the hope and the hopelessness I've witnessed all these years. We're only particles of change, I know, orbiting around the sun. But it's hard to have that point of view when I'm always hung up on someone. White flakes of winter chimneys, waving truce against the moon in the mirrors of a modern